So this is our second session together, and I just wanted to catch back up on how things were going with how you were making a decision on what you wanted to do after this year.
hmm So yeah, I still haven't made up my mind yet. I was kind of hoping by at least the end of this month, I guess of December, to kind of figure out what I want to do. I've made some progress with finding out what I want to do.
Okay.
Um, I've gotten a job at a chiropractic clinic as a technician, so I'm hoping that that can show me if I want to be a chiropractor or not.
Right.
And then the thing, if I didn't choose to do that, I think I would choose to do something in like a ministry religious field.
Okay.
That might be like being a youth pastor, and it might be like doing seminary, it might be both. So I've kind of narrowed it down to two options. So I guess I'm just kind of waiting to figure out which one of those I'd want to do.
That's interesting to me. Last time on our session, I believe you were between chiropractics and working on your family farm. Am I mistaken? Or
Yeah, those were the two things I think at that point.
That's impressive that you were able to go from switching from those two thoughts to narrowing it down to a different two thoughts.
Yeah.
What caused you to come to the realization that you might want to work in ministry or with youth groups?
Yeah, so I've got this friend, and we go to church together a decent amount, and we'll just talk about our faith together.
Mhm.
And he always would have mentioned to me that like I'd get excited about religion and religious thoughts and the Bible, but I wouldn't get as excited talking about like the human body and like chiropractic. And once he said that, that kind of got me thinking about what I do enjoy doing with my time and what I want to do as a job like for the rest of my life. And what would give me like the biggest fulfillment in life and
Right.
the biggest satisfaction. Because I mean, I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing what I choose to do. So that kind of got me thinking about which one of those I'd like to do, and it kind of got me thinking like maybe I do want to do something religious down that route.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you consider going to school for that in the future, or what? Like post graduation here, obviously. Would you consider doing like more schooling, like going to ministry school, or I'm unfamiliar with what exact schooling you have to do. But
So I think I would do seminary school. That's what I think it's called.
Okay.
And I think they do have online programs. So I guess best case scenario with that one would be hopefully get a job as a youth pastor at a church, and at the same time do like my online schooling and just kind of knock both those out at the same time. And then the one like thought I've had with this is with being a chiropractor, I know I do that like my whole life, but with like the youth pastor kind of that route, I don't know what I would want to do, let's say like 10 years from now. Like I would like to be a youth pastor, I think, for a bit, but I think like maybe I would want to switch to something else. I don't know what the something else would be, but I mean, I figured I can always go do something else. Like I don't always have to do like the ministry based route.
Right, you could go overseas, work with like volunteer groups that go to like different countries and like do something like that.
Do a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So between the two of those, are you still pretty hard set in the middle, or are you leaning towards one more than the other? I guess would be my question.
So I've had a situation like this in the past. I used to play football, and then I had a bunch of friends who wanted me to do cross country, and I had a pretty good track season, so I was kind of just riding that wave to that. And I think me just being around the cross country team and not the football team just kind of made me choose to join cross country. And I think something similar is happening, but with like the ministry based route. I think part of me thinks that I'll kind of just fall into that one just
Right.
because that's what I've been spending my time doing. Um, but I don't want to count out chiropractic just yet,
Right.
just because I've wanted to do that for a while now, and I think that would be a satisfying job for me.
Right.
But yeah.
I was going to say a lot of what our decisions we make are based off who we surround ourselves with. So in your case, as you mentioned, you're spending a lot more time with people at church and going to church more actively and being active with your friends and going to like youth groups and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Have you noticed yourself just not necessarily distancing yourself, but not involving yourself as much with those who have similar interests in the medical field?
Um,